Alex Larson, Lifeson.
And Mr. Larson, what is your job?
I'm a certified industrial hygienist.
Could you please tell the court what qualifies you for this job?
Well, for starters, I did get a 4-year degree from Michigan State University in biology, which gave me some background information on the field. I also attended a 6-month-long course that certified me as an industrial hygienist.
Your Honor, at this time I would like to enter Alex Lyson as an expert in the field of industrial hygiene.
Any objections?
Your Honor, I'd just like to void this witness.
You may.
Your Honor.
Mr. Lifeson, have you ever written any studies on lead poisoning in your profession?
Yes, I have. I have done studies on results within different age brackets, and a lot of my subjects were those affected by the food and water crisis.
Okay. Can you tell me the reference range for lead levels in dust?
In dust should be 40 micrograms per square foot.
Okay. And can you tell me the reference range for drinking water, since that is the topic of this case?
Drinking water should be at 15 parts per billion.
Can you tell me whether lead dust or particles can penetrate the skin if skin is unbroken?
Yes, if the skin was broken perhaps through a flesh wound or so, then it is likely that it could happen. However, the most common way that dust can cause lead poisoning is through inhaling it.
Your Honor, based on this, the defense does not believe you should be an expert in industrial hygiene.
Response?
Your Honor, the witness has clearly demonstrated that he understands the topic of lead poisoning and the effects on the body within the scope of this case.
Okay. We're going to allow him to be an expert.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You may proceed, Counselor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Larson, do you have any previous connection to the Peer family?
Well, when I was a child, I actually lived in the Urbanwest apartment complex with my mother under the management of Jack Baird, and it was awful living there. It was always dirty. We had a pest problem. And finally, my mother decided to complain about it, and we were coldly evicted in the middle of winter. And while I won't lie, I held some anger against Jack. However, that is not Sam's fault whatsoever. I hold no anger towards Sam.
Thank you. Could you please tell the court how you found out about this case?
Yes, I was just watching the news one night, and I saw a segment on lead poisoning. And I thought, oh wow, lead poisoning, this is part of my job, I should listen to this. And I saw that a young boy, about 3 or 4, had died from lead poisoning. And it was just kind of a wake-up call to me that I need to start working harder to accomplish my goal of no child ever being affected by lead poisoning again. So I offered my services to the Meltons and their attorneys.
And what were you hired to do?
I was hired to run some simple lead tests on the area surrounding the Urbanwest apartment complex and the Melton family.
And what did you find?
I found that most of the Melton family was within the reference range. Jordan was getting close to a dangerous amount of lead, however she was still okay. But the older child, Brett, had double the reference range of lead in his system.
Your Honor, may I approach the bench?
You may.
Let the record reflect, at this time I am bringing in proposed Exhibit 1. May I approach opposing counsel?
You may.
May I approach the witness?
You may.
Mr. Larson, do you know what this is?
Of course, these are the lead tests I did.
And are they a fair and accurate representation of the tests you
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, at this time I would like to bring in proposed Exhibit 1 as Exhibit 1.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Then it is Exhibit 1.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Larson, could you please tell us what Exhibit 1A states?
Exhibit 1A was the lead test done on Brett Melton. Bottom line, Brett had 10 micrograms of lead per 1 deciliter of blood in his system, which is double the reference range for him.
And could you please tell the court how lead poisoning typically occurs in children?
Lead poisoning in children, most common cause is deteriorated wall paint, old construction dust, because lead was very common in buildings in older times. And toys is a rare occasion, however, still a possibility. And probably second would be drinking water.
Now, as to these high-risk buildings and the drinking water, to your knowledge, does Urban Lofts Apartments fit this description?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. Now, could you please tell the court if you also looked into the drinking water at Urban Lofts?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Could you please move to Exhibit 1D? Could you please tell the court what this report states?
This report is just basically the several lead tests that I ran on areas surrounding their Lost apartment complex, wall paint, drinking water, toys, etc. And basically the bottom line of this is that the Meltons had 45 parts per billion of lead in their water, which is triple that of the reference range. And there was a stuffed rabbit found at an nearby old abandoned house. I tested the dust on the outer coating of the rabbit, and that came in at 435 micrograms per square foot.
Now, could you please tell the court what you can interpret from the dust you found on the rabbit?
From the dust on the rabbit, one school of thought would be that the dust at the old abandoned house had a high concentration of lead in it. However, I agree more with the other school of thought, which is just that lead just compounded on top of this rabbit since, God knows how long it was there. And that's why it has such a high lead level.
So to clarify, it's unlikely that the dust on the rabbit had any bearing on this case?
Very unlikely.
Thank you. And could you please tell the court when this report was filed?
This report was filed in June of 2018.
Thank you. Let the record reflect I'm retrieving and returning Exhibit 1.
Shall so reflect.
And let the record reflect I am bringing in proposed Exhibit 2. May I approach opposing counsel?
You may.
Thank you.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
May I approach the witness?
You may.
Could you please tell the court what this is?
This is the lead report that was done on Ben Melton.
And is it a fair and accurate representation of the report that was taken?
Yes, it is.
At this time, I would like to bring in proposed Exhibit 2 into evidence as Exhibit 2.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
It is Exhibit 2.
Could you please tell us what this report states?
This report states that Ben Melton had 297 micrograms of lead per 1 deciliter of blood, which is crazy amounts of lead.
And could you please explain for the court what this most likely means?
Well, this most definitely confirms that his cause of death was indeed lead poisoning.
The reflect I'm retrieving and returning Exhibit 2.
Shall so reflect.
No further questions.